I think we can table Diddy Watch another week. You know, as we roll through our revisiting album this week, or this episode is Warren G's Regulator G-Funk Era album. Now, as we set this up, I have my tabs open in my notes. As we have to understand, before the Warren G was already in the mix. Now, this is something I don't know if y'all knew. He co-produced Gotta Get Mine, MC Breed, and Tupac. That's his first production credit. So then we get to know him on the Poetic Justice soundtrack with Indo Smoke,
Mr.
which
Grimm.
is with what was homeboy's name? Mr. Grimm. Yeah, Mr. Grimm. So, and he talks about him dissing him on the album we're gonna talk about soon in a second, though, because he said, you know, shit ain't been good since I've been fucking with Mr. Grimm. And Regulators comes out on Above the Rim, and he extended it out for like 6-7 months before his album came out. For me personally, this is the second rap album I ever bought in my life.
That might be the same for me. Because I bought
the second rap album. My first rap album I bought is Criss Cross. This is the second rap album I ever bought, though, in my life. It is Warren G, G-Funk Era. I know it back to front. When y'all say, hey, let's do it, I'm like, oh, I know this back to front, because this is I only had 2 tapes at one time. It was Criss Cross, Warren G, and Jodeci. That's the 3 albums.
Right till my tape locked. Okay.
Like Stacey say when she heard what's the lyrics on this DJ, that's like the
right. Like so, listen, when I hear this DJ, all right, so I'm gonna set it up for Scott because I already know because it's just Scott. So on this DJ, he said I hit the gate and I hops on my Schwinn.
And I tell the homies, all right then.
That's Scott. That's Scott. Scott is all right then. Like that's Scott.
Yeah, my mom was in the street telling me to come home.
So I love that. Like, you don't see.
No, before we go into the album, people understand that Warren G and Redman saved Def Jam at this time period.
Yeah.
Though they were not selling nothing. LL was on that, Pink Cookies in a Plastic Bag era, 13 Shots of Dope, which is not a bad album. It just wasn't making no money.
Wasn't a typical LL.
Yeah, it wasn't making no money. This is somewhat a little bit Onyx coming in, but Onyx was too rough at the time to go like global to make you money. It was a good gold album. And I think they did end up going platinum, but I'm saying, but they weren't able to generate you super funds.
And then that New York sound was changing too. It was going from like that Big Daddy Kane, that late 80s. They was going to that Wu-Tang, that hard, gritty. I'm putting on my boots and my leather jacket.
Oh, you got the in between though, the Fu Schnicken style. That kind of fucked them up for a little bit around 91, 92.
Yeah,
where everybody was
like, the new school.
And Josh Effects kind of feel.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm saying it was just change where everybody thought they had the double spit at the time. And so then we get into the G-Funk Era album. Stacey, give your thoughts on this before we go through track by track real quick.
First off, this album is only 36 minutes long. It's 36 minutes and 50 seconds long.
That's called an EP now.
Get in and get out, nigga. Like, look, here's some songs.
And they got me for $17 at the store for that 36-minute album. For a tape, 20 a CD. That was on tape.
I love this album. I always have. I remember owning it. I don't remember how I got it. Yeah, I used to come up on shit. It could have been me trading for, when I was working somewhere, or it could have been me and Columbia Records or BMG Music, and me putting a penny down and getting a whole bunch of CDs. I don't remember how I got it, but absolutely love this album always. Like it was one. I mean, I loved Regulate, but I'm at a point in my life right now. I don't have to hear Regulate anymore. But
we heard it enough in '94.
I don't have to hear it no more at all. I don't have to hear Regulate anymore. But with Warren G, right? So again, I already love the Butter Rim soundtrack. I already love Death Row, and then to know that he's affiliated with Dre, and like, so all of that, you're already on. I'm ready, right? I'm already here, and then you get the album. You listen to Regulate that first time because it's like, hey, it's on there, and then you listen to everything else. You're like, man, I like this. And then even with the videos that he only is, I mean, it's 3 singles off the album, but I loved all of those singles. And the iPod, Regulate isn't on there because I just can't. But Do You See and This DJ,
it's 4 singles off of there. 4. There's one that's not So Many Ways ended up being on the Bad Boy soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha. There you go. Cool. But yeah, it's I mean, it's the New York Times said it was the first gangster rap album with crossover appeal. That's what they called it. They said the music is slow, smooth, and soulful. The arrangements are complicated, and the melody sweet. So the people fuck with it, but also people love the white folks love Regulators.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and it had nothing to do with the Butter Rim soundtrack.
Not at all. But that was Sugar was getting songs.
Yeah, I'm saying, but like like I said, we had heard it there, or if you had that, like we knew it from there, but they didn't. Like the white folks were like it was their shit, and plus it's the sample.
Be attached to that song heavy back then.
Yeah, and it's the sample is what
it's like that Michael McDonald.
Yeah, Michael motherfucking McDonald. First and foremost,
Ferguson's finest.
Right, so we already there because it's Mike McDonald, and then so you got that, and then there's a million remixes with it. So it's like I said, I don't have to hear Regulate no more. But again, we get Nate Dogg, so you're all in, and it's like it's just this other guy, and you'd also seen him in Nothing But a G Thing video, right? So it's like he was a dude that had the condom,
and you hear him on the skits on Doggy Style.
So
and think about this. This album is amazing because think about it. His best friend is Snoop. He's not on this album at all. Think about the most popular rapper is one of your homeboys you grew up with. He's not on your debut album at all. And you only got Nate on one song, and that's because of that you got that from the soundtrack.
Yep.
And he really got this kind of out the mud to a certain extent of the way this album is kind of set up.
And then hold on, don't forget Dr. Dre, your stepbrother.
Right. But I'm saying, but it's not. None of these people are involved though at all.
Yep.
He had to get it on his own.
Yeah, and that's what happened. And then essentially he brought up his people with him.
Yep. He brought the twins, the Dove
Shack,
and Josh. What is it? Her name is Josh Skills, which ended up being the group The Five Footers. I don't know if you remember the group The Five Footers.
Yeah.
It was Josh Skills was 2 girls, and they ended up combining with some other girls, and then become The Five Footers.
Hey, and shout out to
Dove Shack brings them up. We got
because he brought the twins out last year because he was on tour with Snoop, and he brought the twins out to do Round and Round.
Yeah, and I say Dove Shack brings up the 5 footers. We got the 5 footers.
But it's in the twins. We got Dio, we got Warren G, and
yeah. So he brought his own people with it. So it's that whole that person that was always in the background, but you didn't know they were in the background, but they are, and now they've come out, and it's like, oh, well, I've seen him in the back before, and what's he talking about? But I mean, so yeah, you said we were going to
keep it real. He was an underdog even at the beginning because Mr. Grimm was known more than Warren G. Well, on the Poetic Justice Poetic Justice soundtrack. When that song came out, people were like, "Oh, when's Mr. Grimm coming out with something else?" They wasn't worried about Warren G, even though Warren G produced the song and was on there. So he constantly was like, "Yo, I got to just kind of do this on my own." And I know I've seen interviews with Warren G's like, Suge was like, "Yo, just wait for me and do this," and he was like, "Dude, I got Def Jam giving me a deal right now." And then you got to remember, he started producing stuff for Def Jam. He produced the Slick Rick song, "Behind Bars," that blew up. The remix, the behind bars, dum diddy dum diddy. That was like helped Slick Rick come back in while he was in jail.
Yeah, like Warren G saved Def Jam.
Anyway, and then he also produced all the songs on his album.
Yep. And he also brought Little Malik back from the what is the fucking group now? Illegal. This is right before, and then this catapulted Little Malik to get the joint with Monica on This Is Like That,
which is my favorite Monica song of all time. Like it is, and I'm not going to explain myself.
It's a jam.
It's my jam.
And he didn't like Mr. Malik is on What's Next. That's right. It's What's Next. And it was just all these songs, and it was literally a Long Beach album without Snoop, Nate, period. And it's you find out about that Long Beach has all this other great music, all these other great artists that out there from Warren G. And it was probably a blessing. If Warren G probably looked back, it probably was a blessing that you didn't have Snoop on there, because if you had Snoop on there, they'd be like, "You gonna put that Snoop single out?"
Yeah, and then I think Snoop was kind of restricted anyway. Suge didn't want.
Was that when he had the case on him?
Might have been. Yeah, it might have been right after he beat that case. Right around.
It might have been during the case.
Yeah, during the case. Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Snoop might. You know what? I may have to give Snoop some slack. I think he had the case then, maybe.
Wait a minute. What happened? What's the question?
Snoop gonna go down as the greatest American of all time.
He's the ultimate American story, right?
So that's 93. So yeah, he was in the murder case at that time.
Yeah. That's when he
he was in the murder case at that time.
Is that what he did? Was that the American Music Awards? He had the perm. He's like, I'm innocent. Yeah.
I mean, that's what MTV.
Right? I can't remember. It was some, or it might have been Arsenio. I don't know.
No. I know exactly what the hell you're talking about, because he performed Murder Was the Case. There's one of them, he comes out in like a wheelchair. Like, and I'm trying to remember.
I think it was an award show.
Like, is it like it
was that's a Source Awards, ain't it?
Or was MTV?
But no, but this one, he was like, I'm innocent. It wasn't
right, and that's what he said at the end. Yeah. Like, I'm like, so we essentially like we'll find like people will find the performance, but I know exactly what the hell Scott is talking about.
Because he had a perm.
Yep. I know exactly what the hell he's talking about. They said I remember there is an episode, there's a performance, like I said, he came out in a wheelchair.
So I'm looking it up right now. I'm trying to find it.
Out in the wheelchair at some point in the performance was out in the wheelchair. It may have been.
I know it was at the Source Awards because Snoop had his hair like he was ready to fight in them ponytails. It might have been the MTV Awards.
So it says the Radio City Music Hall Award,
1993 MTV Music Awards, and I'm looking at this video right now on YouTube, and the thumbnail is Snoop in his wheelchair, and at the end, because what I typed in, Snoop Dogg says, "I'm innocent" during an award show. That's what I typed in.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm innocent." He said at the very end.
1993.
So that's 93. You said
exact same performance. We're just talking. I'm talking about the beginning. He's talking about the end. That's the difference of this story. That's the performance.
He said at the very end of the performance, he just say, "I'm innocent" after he finished rapping.
Innocent.
So, and you said it's 93, Stacey?
1993 MTV Music Awards, and I will send you the link.
So he was jammed up then. When this album, that maybe that's why Snoop was not on this album, because this album comes out in 94.
Yeah, that summer.
Like June 94, this comes out. June 7th, 1994, this comes out. 30th anniversary just passed. He was jammed up. Snoop couldn't do. Snoop probably was kind of strapped down and not being able to do much in general.
Yeah, he just had to go to court and go home.
But yeah, this G-Funk album. I didn't even realize until we decided we was gonna do it that it was only 30 minutes. And I was like, this is only 36 minutes. I felt like it was so much longer.
Just looking literally just looking at Wikipedia, and when you see the track time, you're like,
it's like what, 10 songs, ain't it? They're like 10.
But some songs are wait a minute, let me go. Did I lose you? I lost it. Some songs are
it's 10 songs. So two interludes, intros, and 10 songs.
8 songs.
It looks like. Yeah, 10 songs. Two intro things are. Yeah, it's just this album was like, yes, it's not the best rap album of time, but at that time, it was a refreshing thing of it being something different and something being able to give you like a fun time. And it was just a refreshing album, I would say, and that's why
it's definitely a top
album.
10. It's definitely a top 10 West Coast album.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe. Hey, this cool ass Scott from the I Love 90s Music podcast. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like it on the SOLC network. You finna get all the real deal on the 90s, the 2000s, and the splash of that 80s. Do it right now, man, and I'll be your friend.